Hello, this is Mike. We're in Blount County, Tennessee today at the site of the oldest church in Blount County. This is the Eusebia Presbyterian Church, founded in the late 18th century. As I said, it was the first church in Blount County, going back to pioneer days. In the churchyard here. I'm here today because this is the day before the 160th anniversary of the explosion of the Sultana, the steamship Sultana, which exploded just after the Civil War. It was carrying Union prisoners of war back home. And some of those Union prisoners of war were from the 3rd Tennessee Cavalry, which was an East Tennessee unit. And one of the survivors of the Sultana is buried in this cemetery from that explosion of 160 years ago tomorrow. So I thought we would go pay our respects today. Also in Blount County, there is another memorial to the Sultana. That's at Mount Olive Church, and we'll visit that memorial as well as a cenotaph of a gentleman who was in the 3rd Tennessee who perished during the explosion. His family did not recover the body, but they put up a memorial anyway, and I hope to be able to go to that today as well. You'll have to excuse my voice. My voice has been sore for the last few days, but this is a remarkable cemetery. From what I understand, the oldest in Blount County. And this is the grave of Pleasant M. Keeble, born in 1845. He passed away in 1931. He was in Company H of the 3rd Tennessee Cavalry, and he was aboard the Sultana with his brother when his brother was named James. And when the Sultana exploded just north of Memphis, it was taking Pleasant and his brother home from a prisoner of war camp. Pleasant survived the explosion, managed to get aboard a raft. A mule tried to get on the raft. There were mules aboard the Sultana, and he managed to fight the mule off the raft, forever earning the reputation as being more stubborn than a mule. And aboard the raft, him and a few other men managed to survive. There were estimated initially to be 1,700 casualties aboard the Sultana. Now historians have kind of reduced that number a little bit, somewhere around 1,200 to 1,300. But it really compares with the Titanic in terms of the loss of life that occurred. It was America's worst maritime disaster for a very, very long time. But Pleasant survived. He took part in reunions with the other survivors of the 3rd Tennessee Cavalry, all the way until he was the last one who survived, and he passed away in 1931. They had annual meetings, and it must have been very bittersweet at the last meeting. He was the sole survivor. We've left a little memorial there today, nothing real fancy. Just wanted to remember the anniversary of the disaster, and the fact there were quite a few East Tennesseans serving in the Union Army who survived that disaster, and some who didn't. And Pleasant stayed around for a long time after it happened and kept the memory alive, and that's a little bit of what we're trying to do here today. Maybe a little wind here. But this is a Revolutionary War Patriots of Eusebia Cemetery. And it looks like there's quite a few Revolutionary War soldiers buried here. One I recognize there is Robert McTeer towards the bottom, because there's a fort nearby here called Fort McTeer that was really the initial settlement in this area for a long time. And it was built right along the Indian War trace. So, and when the settlers were moving here, they were getting really close to the primary Cherokee villages. So there was quite a bit of back and forth, some strife that happened. But in fact, there was a massacre of a family of 5 that happened a little more than a half a mile from here. And we'll do a video on that on another day. But yeah, a lot of Revolutionary War soldiers, instead of receiving pay, received land commissions, including here in the Tennessee Valley. So there's quite a few of them here.